Okay, now it's time to take you through the nuts and bolts of the HK21 and talk about some of the unique design features this gun has. Now keep in mind, this is the HK21E, and this particular gun, based on the date code, was made in 2004, so it's a fairly late gun. All right, I'm going to disassemble it for you and then show you some of the key features that you need to dial in on. Hunter round ammo box, unique for the HK21. This particular one, kind of hard to find in the United States, and I got it from my good buddy Adam Weber at hkparts.net. Okay, as far as disassembly, it's very similar in some ways to the G3. You have push pins in the rear, but from there it kind of differs a bit. Make sure the weapon's clear, and it is. Push the pins out. These pins were first seen on the Sturmgewehr, which of course HK then later, remember HK in a lot of ways is the modern day rendition of Mauser Obendorf, and they were developing a roller lock gun at the end of the war called the Sturmgewehr 45, where they carried on not only the roller lock design of course, which later morphed into the G3, but the push pins and the drop down trigger mechanism that you saw on the Sturmgewehr. Okay, let me get my punch out here. Some of these pins can be a little tight. Okay, the trigger mechanism on the HK21 series is unique. It fits into a shelf right here. You can see a little plate right there. It doesn't have the push pin like most HK weapons do. So it only fits on a 21 series or the belt-fed series of weapons. You can see also recoil spring is unique and dedicated specifically to this gun. There's many things on this gun that are built specifically for the belt-fed variant, and they don't interchange with guns like the G3. There's some things that do, but a lot of it doesn't. HK had to strengthen it and beef these parts up and make it to where it was suitable for a sustained fire weapon, unlike a battle rifle with a 20-round mag like the G3. Okay, at this point, time to pull the bolt to the rear. Bolt carrier once again is unique, and you notice it has a channel on the bottom. That is to activate the feed mechanism. This channel activates the feed levers and brings the next round in line in order to feed it into the chamber. Last but not least, let's take our barrel out. Okay, the barrel change feature, not unlike the MG42 or World War II fame that comes out of the side, the right-hand side of the receiver. It has a shortened handle and a push button and allows you to rotate it and then pull it out the top, and it's locked in with these two lugs right here. Now remember, this is a closed bolt weapon, so HK requires you to lock the bolt to the rear before you change barrels. In case there's a round in the chamber, remember you're pulling the barrel out from the side, so that if there's a round in the chamber on the face of the bolt under the extractor, it'd be impossible to get the barrel out. Now once again, most of the gun does not interchange with the G3. One exception to it is you have the ability to swap out the feed mechanism here for a box feed. In that way it kind of turns into the HK11 format, which HK11 was a dedicated gun that was built to take box magazines or a 50-round drum. In that case, you can use a G3 20-round magazine and use it. Say if you're with soldiers that you have G3s, now you can run that same magazine, same ammo through this gun. The way this one's set up is belt feed only. Okay, one of the things on the bipod, you can dismount it from here and then move it back to here. So remember, up close, anytime the bipod is closer to the muzzle, you get better downrange accuracy. The problem with that is, of course, the burst dispersion or your beaten zone down the range is smaller. If you move it back here, you got a much greater swing like the MG34 or World War II fame. That's kind of where this concept came from. Problem is now when you fire it, your burst dispersion is much bigger. Now some guns kind of hit the middle ground per se, like the Bren or the M240, and kind of bring it into a location more right here, which kind of gives you a little bit of both. But remember, for greater downrange accuracy, the closer the bipod is to the muzzle, the more accurate your downrange burst dispersion is going to be.